Stressful, huh? I think I'm drinking beer or something. All right. We'll get this to work. We'll get the action. Can't, then we won't. You know, everybody paid rent today. I hope y'all did. Unless you're going to be outside. It's too cold to be outside. Snowstorm hit. Y'all better have paid y'all rent as soon as that joint hit. Get that. Snowstorm hit. Y'all better have paid y'all rent as soon as that joint hit. Oh, we're good. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay. Destorian's Craft by Mark Block. Hello, welcome. I don't know what was going on. I think I had my... Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. All right. We'll get back. Let people come back. Drink some energy drink. I just wasted a lot of energy doing that earlier. It's insane. Hey, guys. Quick book recommendation. We want to talk about a good book. I promise. Let's just talk about something that happened tonight when we get some people in here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Hello. Hello. Oh, let me get all set up. Yeah. Okay. Drink some of this. I kind of want to order a pizza if I get into all this. Is that all right with y'all? If I order me a little pizza? Little pizza. You know how they get. Pizza. Hello, welcome. You got anything? What up, Chili Jojo? What's going down? I'll be reading The Historian's Craft. What up, Daniel? What's going down? I'll be reading The Historian's Craft. Yo, little T, what's going down? Keep it low key though. Keep it low key. Be reading The Historian's Craft. It's written by a man who. Let me just jump to. I gave the introduction in the last live. I'll just jump the gun here. This man was killed by the Gestapo in 1944. The book was written in 1942. I recommend this book to anyone. I should have put my affiliated link into it, but into the description. I'm not even gonna be that kind of guy. Go get this on Amazon. No, forget that. Go get this on A Books. You get it for like $12. The Historian's Craft. It'll make you cry. I want to read the entire thing on live. So why not? I read kind of fast, you know. What's up? Not much. We're reading The Historian's Craft. You know how that goes. Look, you read the contents of a book, right? You gotta give the book an entire look. You read the contents of a book. An introduction for a thin book like this, 120 some pages. Introduction, page 3. Chapter 1, page 20. Why is that? This man is giving you his last words for real. Like, it gets deeper. The Historian's Craft. Tell me, Dottie, what is the use of history? That's how this man really starts off. Like, are you joking? You about to be dead in 2 years, and this is how you read. This is how you write it. But you never know. You gotta be the humor, the laughter of life. You gotta love it. Tell me, Dottie, what is the use of history? I'm joking. I'm gonna read this seriously. Thus, a few years ago, a young lad in whom I had a very special interest questioned his historian father. I wish I could say of this book that it is my answer. I can conceive no higher praise for a writer than to be able to speak in the same tone to savants and schoolboys alike. but so noble but so noble a simplicity is the privilege of a select few. At any rate, this question from a child whose thirst for knowledge I was not perhaps too well able to satisfy at the time now serves me well as a point of departure. As a point of departure. He will be dead in 2 years. Now serves me well as a point of departure. Where is his point of departure for those just coming in? Tell me, Dai, what is the use of history? I just imagine it's like some misshapen child from like Scotland. He's visiting Scotland because he's a Frenchman. This is Mark Bloch that we're reading, right? This man was a professor of economic history in Paris when the Germans take over in June of 1940. He is an economic at the University of Paris is where he's an economic professor. So, all right. Doubtless, there are some who will consider this a naive approach, but to me, it seems entirely the point. Because history is to be taught to the next generation. You implant that seed into the child. Now this plant has more years and much fertile land to spawn some new species of plant. Like you get new thinkers, you know. The problem which it poses with the embarrassing forthrightness of that implacable age is no less than that of the legitimacy of history. Behold, then, the historian called to render his accounts. He does so not without an inner tumor. Yes, for real. I think for myself, if I was to write a history and someone was to ask me, what are my sources? You know, like you got to really know your sources. You got to have a different relationship with your sources. What are you reading? Mark Bloch's The Historian's Craft. I'm sorry, I'm new to this. And I'm trying to capitalize on this market of reading on live, I guess, that people are doing. Yes, Mark Bloch, The Historian's Craft. This book was written in 1942. And you can't find it in any bookstore. But it's written by a man who is killed by the Gestapo in 1944. He was a part of the French resistance after he was a professor when the Germans came in 1940. He was a professor at the University of Paris, economic history. So, like, he's there to see it all. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No. We'll go into why it's important. It's what it is. It might be okay, but important. Important is what it is. For unlike others, our civilization has always been extremely attentive to its past. Everything has inclined it in its direction, both the Christian and the classical historian heritage. Our first masters, the Greeks and the Romans, were history-writing peoples. That's a given. I argue that he's wrong here in a sense, though. That's why when you say it's okay, I'm like, I get. If you've read this, I get it. I can understand because the Chinese are deeply, deeply historic. Like I have over there the records of the Grand Historian written. They're in the hunt. Like they're deeply, and the fact that the first emperor of China burns all of these books implies that they have a long history of record keeping. That is giving source to not this. He doesn't. This is the history of libraries in the Western world, but using the context of the Assyrians having many libraries and how them having 200,000 texts found at the library and Ashurbanipal gives indication that there is a large amount, like a system of record keeping in Assyria. So just the fact that man burnt all those books means this system of record keeping in China was well. So, okay, I just got off track there. I apologize for that. Christianity is a religion of historians. Other religious systems have been able to find sorry, other religious systems have been able to found their beliefs and their rights on a mythology nearly outside human time. For sacred books, the Christians have books of history and their commemorate together with episodes from the terrestrial. I just got distracted for a second. Terrestrial life of the God and the annals of church and the lives of the saints. Christianity is a historical in another and perhaps even deeper sense. I'm very, very much distracted by this light. This light is so bright, bro. Hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. There we are. Yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna read this on here anymore. Doesn't matter. But we can do a lot of here. Welcome, welcome. Let's speak history. That's what we'll do. Instead of just reading, we'll speak it. Let's investigate together. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's what I do in life. Go somewhere. Oh my God. Yes, yes. How do I ask a question? What's that, Daphne? Look at me. Looking like Daphne. Agni coming out my back seat. Distracting me. And I'm gonna come attacking. We're battle axing and I'm battle axing. Should I carve wood? Let me carve wood. Hello. Welcome. A lot of things we could go over. I'm waiting on someone to render the direction. And from there, I will go. Thank you. Hello. Welcome in. What was your favorite historical time? And we can go there. I have the only book that is in space right here. I know that it is the only book in space because I have a virtual reality headset and I went to the International Space System and found this in the International Space System, ordered it off Amazon, and it was written in 2010. Got a friend, his last year of life was in 2010, so I get to see what the world looked like in 2010 whenever I get depressed. But all right, what's going down? Hello, anybody want to chat? Let's talk history. What is your favorite historical time? You tell me, and we can dig over there in my library about it. Or unless I got it on top of my head. I would love to dig though. Hopefully someone here is deep in history. Maybe that's a bogus question. I haven't given any thought into it. I'm also trying to put some thought into this wood. No Diddy. Oh Diddy. Welcome in. Let's speak about the power of passing knowledge to the next generation. And what knowledge have we passed 90s babies. What knowledge are we passing to kids born in 2000s? Death and destruction. Death and destruction. I'm speaking as a black man. Death and destruction. Keep on passing them these tales that we received from 70s and 80s babies, or received from the 70s babies and watched the 80s babies live. Man, fuck that shit, bro. Boom, boom. We're trying to build something different for the next generation. And how do you do that? By truly knowing. And it's hard to truly know, but by truly digging and investigating, researching sources of the past. You gotta know. You don't gotta. It's written somewhere. You don't have to read the news. Just read history. And humanity will thus repeat himself or herself. It's not really known what humanity would do for herself because it's not as recorded, you know? That's something I learned though. There was a royal woman librarian in ancient Egypt. What was the what was her title? Designations. Scribe. Yeah, but there was. Oh, sorry. I just read while on live a man from 1942 speak on how the layman has such an interest in history. Will humanity always have such? He said it was more than ever, but I think it's actually a thing that we have always had an interest in history. I'm interested to know when your favorite interest in history is. Like what in particular? The history of soil. I don't know. I don't know the history of purple dye in Palestine. I don't know. So much. There's so many histories. So many histories. The history of banking. The history of Jewish banking. The history of Anglo-Saxon banking in the United States in the early and late 1800s. Hello, welcome in, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Should I play music? I just like to talk. I can rant. No one's talking. But we've got obligations. Hey, I need to order a pizza before I can't. Hanging out with y'all. Hanging out with y'all, boy. Oh, God. Just stabbed myself. Energy. Yeah, since you're here, take a screenshot. The historian's craft. Oh, y'all left. I lost y'all. Damn. I was only here for the wood. It's crazy. I talk history. Learning is a mystery to me. I see vividly. I see vividly. I speak history. Told of centuries, men of history, cloudy centuries. I love history. Oh, a mystery. I've seen centuries from my widow's peak. I hide widow's peak from you vividly. I got a widow's peak, but I can talk history. No, that little speak, bro. Be for real. Is that little speak, bro? It is not on the streets. Hello, like the live. Like the live. Can I get y'all to like the live? That'll be a pleasure and love. Centuries of love. No one. Stop. Let me go to this pizza. Oh, 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 oh. What's up? Trying to see if I can go to this pizza and stay online. Go to the pizza store. I might just be one of them people that go on live, stay on live all day, YouTube live, monetize. I'm not just focused on the monetization. You know, it is a benefit though. You know, the government. Oh yeah, I can just do it like that. Hello, welcome. What is your favorite time in history? Focus on the beliefs, the love. Do you love history? Family? Family? I'm a coach. Ordering the carry-out pizza. I do love it. Getting the three. Nobody's here. Thank goodness. Go away. Stay away. Weird. They're weird people and not out there, but don't even be weird about that, okay? All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being about. We hanging out for a little bit. I was planning on. I was gonna read, but got the move. It's not about what's the move. I want to educate. I need more people to read because the more that I read, the greater chances for humanity. Let's be serious. We need more educated people, more people willing to liberally educate their minds. What does that mean? Liberally educate the mind. What does that mean? Oh. Hey, what? That's what's up, y'all. I ain't slave for it and date for it. Okay. Okay. We're doing history. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I'm getting off of here. That was cool. Ciao.